And I heard another voice from heaven saying,
Watch this.
come out of her, my people.
So this is the key. This is for us. He's saying, come out of her, come out of the philosophies of Babylon. We have to come completely out of the philosophies of Babylon. Talk about his people.
That's right. That ye be not partakers of her sins.
We don't want to be partakers of the things that do celebrate 4th of July, all that stuff. We was in cotton fields then, huh?
I'm not even celebrating Juneteenth. My mom was against the plague holidays. That's why I tell them about Christmas. I'm not really into
no Christmas, no Easter, no all of that stuff is pagan.
How you doing?
All right, Elder.
Very cool, man.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't celebrate that.
It's a mystery with them too.
I'm saying, what do you think God feels about it? I mean, because like you said, some of you think it's good,
some have strayed.
So what do you think about the good ones, the so-called good ones?
He loves his own though.
You think he love everybody? Now you about to put me in a trick bag.
Come on now. Come on now.
Give me
Give me that scripture to show that, but I do know he's a vengeful God.
Well, yeah.
So,
he's long suffering as well.
right.
I mean, give me go to Baruch chapter 3. Yeah. That's in the Apocrypha. But I'm gonna show you saying the same thing in the regular Bible.
Yeah.
Baruch 3:33 and
My nephews told me it was a book from the Bible. Now they said they said it wasn't in the Bible.
yeah.
It started with a B.
It wasn't in the Bible.
Yeah. They say they took that one out. That was the one that told everything. Forgot the name.
Y'all have the whole one already?
I left it at home, but they got
He said it was a book that was taken
It's the
out.
Apocrypha. That's what's taken out.
And the table of
That's what
contents.
literally mean hidden books.
Hidden books. And this was all up in this here.
This was all one book at one time.
Okay.
Well, yeah,
We got the 1885, we got the history.
He said it was in there. He said this book is not in the Bible anymore. He said because it tells you.
Yeah.
So
Well, all
what's
of it
to
say the
come?
same
Yeah.
thing. Well, that's even in the regular Bible.
I
You
have
just gotta-
friends, they say, oh, the white man rewrote it and all that. I said, well, if they rewrote it, then God know my heart, so I'm going to read it.
Well, the question I asked them when they say that,
Yeah.
You
if
can
they
find it?
rewrote it,
Okay.
why is the God of the Bible black? Why wouldn't they change that? Because
Right.
they gave us this image right here.
Right.
But when we read the Bible,
Yeah.
Christ got white woolly hair and look black.
That's right.
Well, if they rewrote it, that was the first thing I would take out, the
Right.
God of the book.
Right.
So all those things are lies, man. Those are people that heard something and just broke it.
Can I give you my assumption about what you just said?
Sure.
I feel like they said they created God to be white because they feel like everybody listened to it. You know what I'm saying? If they say God was black and they knew the truth the whole time, then they feel like everybody would be receptive. You know what I'm saying? But if you
That's
feel like
true,
he's a
though.
white guy and it's, you know what I'm saying, wool, you know what I'm saying? Then
Well, why?
more people, you know what I'm saying? But if you start preaching it like that, they ain't gonna.
Well, why would it have to be a problem for us to accept that the God of the book is black? Why would it be a problem to us? What do you think happened
be a
to us?
problem to us.
Because you got to realize these prophets that wrote these books, like
So how
Ezekiel.
would I be able to get the book like that?
You can go to order from you can go to Amazon. They got them at Barnes and Noble. Get them everywhere. Go online. They have a bunch of them. They ain't that expensive.
Okay.
But hey, what I was saying, what you think happened? Because all of these prophets are so-called black. Give me Acts chapter 13. Let me show you something. I want you to hear this too. 13.
Yeah. It's the book of Acts, chapter
in the New
13,
Testament.
verse 1. Yeah. And it reads, now there were in the church that was at Antioch
In Antioch, that's going over at the Greece. Go ahead.
certain prophets and teachers,
Prophets and teachers.
as Barnabas and Simeon,
That was what?
that was called niggers.
What they were called?
Niggers.
Now let me show you. Let's look up the word. Show it to us.
Oh my God.
It's Niger in Latin, but nigger in English. See that?
Oh wow.
Now look what the word nigger means. Here's the Bible dictionary.
Okay.
Come on, man.
Thank you.
These were prophets that was called. That's why they gonna call us niggas.
So
Look what it means.
this word has been here since
Oh,
the
nigga.
beginning of time.
That's in the
crazy.
Acts. We just never read the book
Watch
before.
this up. What that Gonzana for that?
Watch yourself. Watch yourself, brother. Watch yourself. It says Ham, right?
This is what it says that we descend from Ham. Hamites are the Africans, right? Hamites are the Africans. We're Shemites. Watch this up. Ham,
Let him read it.
the youngest son.
What Hebrew?
We Hebrews.
We
Yeah,
are.
we come from
We
Shem.
come from
Shem is the
Shem.
Hebrews.
Okay.
You know, they had 3 sons. Noah, the whole world was flooded. It was Noah and his 3 sons.
So Ham, the youngest son of Noah, born probably about 96 years before the flood, and one of the 8 persons to live through the flood, he became the progenitor of the dark races, not the Negroes,
But who?
but the Egyptians,
Egyptians came from
Ethiopians,
that.
the Libyans, and the Canaanites.
Well, that's what I'm saying. These the people. Give me that Isaiah. That is 29 delivered to one and they couldn't see. The book was sealed to certain.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 29, start at verse 11. Verse 10. For the Lord hath poured out upon
Go
you.
up to 9.
Verse 9. Stay yourselves in wonder. Cry ye out and cry. They are drunken, but not with wine.
He said, these are what those people. All right, brother. He said those people. Talk about the leaders. They drunk, but not with wine.
They stagger, but not with strong drink. For the Lord hath poured out upon you the spirit of deep sleep.
Blinded their mind. They got sleep. They can't see. They can't. Go ahead, keep reading. I'm gonna show you.
And have closed your eyes. The prophets and your rulers. The seers had you covered. And the vision
The
of all
prophets, the rulers, the seers are the pastors. They read this book but have no understanding of it.
right. And the vision of all is become unto you as the words of a book that is sealed.
They said that when they read it, but they don't have no understanding of what this book is really saying. Go ahead.
Which men deliver to one that is learned.
That's the learned man that went to theology school that's sitting up on the podium. He said, we deliver the book to him and go, we are.
Saying, read this.
He said, read this, sir.
I pray thee. And he said, I cannot.
He said, I can't.
For it is sealed.
It is sealed. That's what they normally say into the book of Revelation. They're like, the book of Revelation is completely sealed. That's foolishness. I'm going to show you.
Right. And the book is delivered to him, and that is not learned, saying, read this. I pray thee. And he said, I am not learned. Wherefore the Lord said, for as much as the people join near me with their mouth and with their lips do honor me, but have removed their heart far from me, and their fear toward me is taught by the precept of men.
That's the key. That's the problem. Our people, the key of the book being unlocked in these Psalms 111 to 10, the reason it's sealed is because they don't believe in keeping the commandments. But this is the key to get the unlock the mysteries of the book.
Wow.
It's the book of Psalms, chapter 111. Verse 10. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom.
The first thing you got to do is fear the Lord. When you fear Him, you're going to do His commandments, right?
And good
To
understanding
get a good understanding of this book,
have all they that do his
you
commandments.
got to do the commandments. That's the only way you're going to get the understanding. The book is
Spread and do
completely
it forever.
sealed. The book is
All right,
sealed.
so I'm gonna ask y'all because they
Very cool, man.
okay.
Yeah, they don't want to celebrate that. God is a spirit, but He has a physical body. Give me
See, that's what I want to know.
Daniel.
That God have physical body.
Don't describe it. Daniel chapter 7.
The book of Daniel, chapter 7, verse 9. I beheld till the thrones were cast
Now
down,
this is Daniel prophesying the end of the day, talking about when all the kingdoms are destroyed.
and the Ancient of Days
The Ancient of Days is the Most High God, because there's no beginning or end to His days. Go ahead.
did sit.
He did what He did.
He did sit,
For the sit, you gotta have a body. Go ahead.
whose garment was white as snow,
To have a garment on your body, you gotta have a body, right?
and the hair of his
The
head
hair on his head,
like the pure wool.
who got woolly hair?
Oh wow.
That's the
See, I always known him as God as being just a spirit.
Puff of smoke or
Give me
something.
Acts
Yeah,
chapter
you know
7.
something that just,
Acts 7.
you can't see him.
Watch this. See,
Acts chapter 7, verse
55.
It's the book of
Watch
Acts.
this. This is our brother Stephen to be stoned, because in Christianity it teaches us that Jesus Christ, they won, right? Now, I believe that's what you was getting into. Watch this.
It's the book of Acts chapter 7, verse 55.
Now watch what he does.
But he, being full of the Holy Ghost,
So this is Stephen, he was about to be stoned, being full of the Holy Ghost.
he looked up steadfastly into heaven
He looked up steadfastly into heaven.
and saw the glory of
Now
God
look what he saw. Look what he said he saw. He said he saw the glory of God.
and Jesus standing on the right hand of God.
So how could they be the same if we seen Jesus standing next to him? So it's showing you they're not the
This is
idea.
bringing tears to my eyes because something we had to me one time. I woke up out my sleep and I happened to like look in the bed. You know, you think it's a dream, but it's not. It was something all white with red eyes and white hair.
Wow.
And God never knows I ain't behind dog. I hope you don't move me
Yeah.
if I'm lying. And I told it to my mama and she asked me was I scared of it. And I said no. And she said, well then you see.
Give me
I'm telling you,
Joel.
that y'all just gave me clarity. I'm telling you in all things.
Exactly.
So one more question I have. Okay, what does the Bible describe as being the destruction now? Is it the plagues? Is that the fire?
Famine. Well, give me the one in Second Ezra. I think that's the better one.
Lord, I got to see something I ain't never
Second
thought
Ezra, I
of.
think is
16.
Yeah, you know that. I think like 16.
Crazy.
They got one at 15 too.
Right.
Yeah, read that one at 15. That one's heavy. Second Ezra chapter 15. Start at 1. Well, what do you want to start? It's all over.
Yeah, it's all over.
Yeah, read 15 for me.
It's the book
I'm
of
a
Second Ezra, chapter 15, verse 1.
Now, Second Ezra is the Ezra that you read into the regular Bible.
Okay.
E-Z-R-A. This is the books that they took out that he wrote, because he wrote a whole bunch of other books. Good.
Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy,
Now, this is the prophecy that he's about to foretell that you asked the question about.
which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true.
Right?
Fear not the imaginations against thee. Let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee.
So he's telling us to go out and deal with our people, but don't be afraid, because most of the time we have to argue with our people. Like
Yes,
that.
I
So
had
that's what
that
he's telling-
yesterday.
Well, that's what he's saying. Don't go out there, but don't be afraid
Yeah.
of it. He literally tells us in Ezekiel, make your forehead hard against theirs. Don't run from it.
Yeah.
Right.
Go ahead.
Verse 4. For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness.
Go ahead, brother.
Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world.
What are you going to do?
I will bring plagues upon the world.
Right.
The sword,
The sword, that's talking about war.
famine,
Famine, the food market is going to be shut
Yeah,
down.
it's starting
Right?
to shut down.
death,
That's by plagues. Go ahead.
and destruction.
Uh-huh.
For wickedness hath exceedingly polluted the whole earth.
So this is what he's talking about. Because if you, right, even though he's reading this thing, every particular nationality has ruled at some point in time. Right now, America is ruling all of the other nations.
Right.
But their plagues, like when you read Revelation 18, says their iniquity have reached a certain height. After a certain while, the Most High have to bring destruction.
That's right.
When you go to Genesis, the Amorites was ruling at one time. And then when he said they had enough, he destroyed the Amorites.
That's right.
And that's what he's bringing on now to read.
Verse 5. For wickedness hath exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. Therefore, saith the Lord, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit. Neither will I suffer them neither shall I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent in righteousness blood cried unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually. And therefore, saith the Lord, I will surely avenge them.
Now what he's going in that, jump down, go to 9.
Verse 9.
No, I mean, yeah, read that.
Verse 9. And therefore, saith the Lord, I will surely avenge them, and receive unto me all the innocent blood from among them. Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt.
So what Egypt is not talking about the landmass Egypt, call this place Egypt, Moab. You know what I want.
So basically, he's taking the people, the wicked, with the plague.
Yes,
Right.
Oh,
Absolutely.
wow.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 11, verse 8. And their dead bodies,
He's talking about our people right now. We're not physically dead, we're spiritually dead.
Right.
We don't know who we are. We've been
Right.
destroyed. Right?
shall lie in the street of the great city.
This great city is saying it as a metaphor. This is America, or Babylon the Great in that kind of time.
Which spiritually
It's called what?
is called Sodom and Egypt.
So he's calling this place Egypt, or spiritually called Egypt, or Sodom, because you see two men, two women, all of them married and doing all kind of ungodly things. But that's the judgment that's going to give us. Go to 18 and go to 18.
It's the book of Revelation, chapter 18, verse 4.
Start at 1.
Verse 1. And after these things, I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lighted with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen.
That's what this place called, Babylon the Great. Because at that time we were in Babylon in slavery and Egypt. That's why it's calling them these different places, because this place is like all the captivities at once. We was in all these different captivities. Remember, this book is only written to the Israelites. It's not written to everybody. These men, these prophets are all Israelites. There's no other nation. It's all Israelites. Good.
It's falling, and it's become the habitations of devils,
That's going until the destruction that comes out, because nobody's going to live here. Good.
and the whole of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird.
Right.
For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication.
Meaning that all other nations follow their doctrine. You find it out even in Africa right now, where they were literally close to keeping not so much God's commandments, but at least following Muslims. Now their women is wearing all out of control, dressed like wolves. But no, I'm not saying they per se, but they at least had a certain standard, like they dressed modest. They kept some laws of the book, but now they going off. So now they're eating up the wine, the wine of America now. They're taking on their philosophy.
right.
Like you could go online right now, you'll see the black women dressed all kind of just like the women here dressed.
Right.
That was crazy. That wasn't never heard of out there.
Right.
They were killing homosexuals in Africa at one time.
Right.
Now they just walk through the streets with no problem. It's a problem.
That's right.
Go on.
For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication.
They gonna get it.
And the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her.
Right.
And the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her
You
delicacy.
walk through.
Because everything been Sunday. Go ahead, sister.
And I heard another voice from heaven
Watch
saying,
this.
Come out of her, my people.
So this is the key. This is for us. He's saying, come out of her, come out of the philosophies of Babylon. We have to come completely out of the philosophies of Babylon. Talk about his people.
That's right.
Go ahead.
That ye be not partakers of her sins.
We don't want to be partakers of the things that do celebrate 4th of July, all that stuff. We was in cotton fields then, huh?
Yeah, I know we can celebrate Juneteenth. My mom was against the plague holidays. That's why I tell them about Christmas. I'm not really into
No
that.
Christmas, no Easter, no, all of that stuff is pagan.
Right.
Go ahead.
Right.
And that ye receive not of her plagues.
Meaning that if you come out of her, you won't receive none of the plagues.
COVID-19s and all that.
Thank you.
Getting shot in the street.
Right. Exactly.
So because I always,
You
know,
come
I
through, man. Come through.
tell my children all the time. I say the destruction of the world is gonna be by fire. I think it's
Don't
the gun.
celebrate that
Because all I can see was
lie.
fire that come from the gun. But it's more than that now.
No, it's give me
Don't celebrate that either.
give me First Peter chapter 3 verse 2.
I don't celebrate nothing. I just cook. That's it. I'm gonna watch some movies. Now I'm gonna read the book.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right.
Say 1 Peter 3 and 10.
Yeah.
This is the book of 1 Peter, chapter 3, verse 10. But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, and the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise.
That great noise ain't gonna be guns going into the bombs and U.S. missiles.
Yeah,
That's right.
Yeah.
And the elements
No,
shall...
not the trumpet. It's talking about the missiles. This place gonna be obliterated. Bombs coming in. I'm approving. Go ahead.
Well, why they always say the trumpet's gonna sound?
No, the trumpet's gonna sound. That's true. That's in Revelation. But when those trumpets are sounding, meaning that another, it talks about another vial that's being opened, meaning that another plague is coming on earth. That's why he said sword, famine, and pestilence. Sword is war.
Right.
It's going into war that's coming in. So it ain't gonna be just guns. It'll be bombs.
So that is the fire.
Yeah. I'm cool with
Now,
that.
I thought it came to mind. The book my nephew said was Obadiah. What is that?
Oh, that's in the Bible. I'm gonna read
He
it.
said it wasn't in there, but I'm just saying it was
That's my
like
favorite.
they believe in natural stuff and you know, and I don't knock that, but I be listening to them because just like I was listening to y'all, I was saying the way,
Right.
and they be like convincing me.
Answering all your questions.
Yeah, I saw. And he said, "ATC, you gonna learn a lot." He said, "You always question this shit."
That's
He said,
good.
because you want to know.
Yeah.
I think.
Ain't no problem. Let's read that.
But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat.
So think about that. That's not guns. It said the elements shall melt like the fervent heat. That's extreme heat. That's something's gotta be making that heat. Good.
The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned up.
So what do you think gonna do that? A missile. Oh,
Wow.
Read.
I always thought it was the nuclear.
Now this is for you, this part here, right?
Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of person ought ye to be?
That's the key. So you gotta think upon yourself. All this destruction that's coming here, what are I supposed to be doing? That's why nobody's out here saying it like Christian church ain't gonna tell you.
Yeah.
But to get true salvation, you gotta be keeping his commandments and the faith of Christ. But that's what he's giving you a warning of these things that's coming past. You know,
Now one more question and then I'm gonna go.
oh, you ask, so we out here for these questions. Ask
All right, after you die, does he tell of what? Because a lot of people say they on another journey. They in between life and death. You know. So that's what I'm basically want to know. What are the dead doing now other than sleeping?
oh, hold that. Give me, oh, you can stay there. I think that one in, second Ezra's, 14. It's 14 and, you want to know what the dead doing.
Yeah.
14 and, read the one at 9 first. 9, start at 9 and 7.
Book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 9, verse 7. And everyone that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his works and by faith, whereby ye have believed, shall be preserved from the said perils, and shall see my salvation in my land,
Right.
and within my borders, for I have sanctified them for me from the beginning.
So some people were already sanctified from the very beginning, right? So he said the people that keep his commandments, they're going to be saved for the perils that's coming, right? Go ahead.
Then shall they be in pitiful case,
He said some people are going to be a pitiful case.
which now have abused my ways, and they that have cast them away despitefully shall dwell in torment.
They're going to dwell in torment. Come on.
For such as in their life have received benefits and have not known me,
They didn't know God.
and they that have loathed my law
Uh-huh.
while they had yet liberty,
Right?
and when as yet place of repentance was open unto them,
Right.
understood not,
They didn't understand it.
but despised it.
They despised God's laws.
The same must know it after death by
He
pain.
said, wherever you going, you're going to know it after death by pain. Go to 14:35.
So they already being judged.
Not yet.
Not yet.
I'm going to prove that. Listen, you're good.
It's the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 14, verse 35. For after death shall the judgment come,
Uh-huh.
when we shall live again.
So a lot of people right now, you die, you just come back. It's called the regeneration. That's what he read it one more
Somebody
time.
told me that, and I didn't believe them.
That's right. Cool.
It's the
Good.
book of
Oh,
2nd
wow.
Esdras, chapter 14, verse 35. For after that shall the judgment come, when we shall live again.
Live again, your body comes back again. Go to the Ecclesiastes.
So those that died has come back again.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Like the
wow.
Bible talks about even the prophets
Oh,
coming
that
back
is
in the last
that's
days.
another chance.
Yeah, well,
that
yes,
he's giving them?
absolutely.
Okay.
Everybody comes back. Everybody,
wow.
now that spirit, that same spirit comes
Goes
back.
to heaven, right?
Read it. Go to
Oh, the
1 and
soul.
12, 12 and yeah.
Soul goes to heaven.
Ecclesiastes
Oh,
12,
wow.
12 and 7.
12 and 7.
Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 7. Then shall the dust return to the earth as it was,
Your body turns back to the earth.
and the spirit shall return unto God who gave
So
it.
the spirit go back to heaven. Go to
It's the book of Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 16. And moreover, I saw under the sun the place, I'm starting 15, that which had been is now, and that which is to be had already been. And God required that which is past. And moreover, I saw under the sun the place of judgment, that wickedness was there, and a place of righteousness, that iniquity was there. Verse 21. Who knoweth the spirit of a man that goeth upwards, and the spirit of the beast that goeth downward to the earth. Verse 17. I said in my heart, God shall judge the righteous and the wicked, for there is a time there for every purpose and for every work.
So everybody's judged. Right now, your body literally goes back to that.
Yeah.
Give me the one that
But you return.
right. But right now, everybody's in.
So you return as a baby. So
Yes,
you start to
correct. Through that same bloodline.
Okay.
So you come through your father's seed. So you come back to that father's seed. That's in Numbers. Pull that. The one in Numbers.
So that's why we have deja vu. Like we've been here before. Boy, that's
Like it's all through the Bible.
I mean, y'all hit
You
it
look
all.
at it, there's a-
Lord, y'all hit
God.
y'all hit all the territory.
Numbers 1 and 18. It's the book of Numbers, chapter 1, verse 18. And they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month. And they declared their pedigree after their families
Bloodline, what?
by the house of their fathers.
By the house of your father, the man carries the seed. Woman is still like the equal. So whatever you are, you are what your father is. Because the man carries the son. So that's what you come back.
According to the number of the names, 20 years old and upward by their poles.
Job 3 and
It's the book of Job, chapter 3, verse 16. Or as in hidden untimely birth, I had not been, as infants which never saw light.
this is Job wishing that he had never been born. So he said wishing was like an infant that never seen life. Right?
There, the wicked cease from troubling.
So then he said, talking about in the spirit world, the wicked cease from troubling.
And there, the weary be at rest.
He said, the weary be at rest. Right.
There, the prisoners rest together.
He said, the prisoners rest together.
They hear not the voice of the oppressor. The small and the great are there. And the servant is free from his master. Wherefore is light given to him that is in misery, and light unto the bitter in soul.
So it don't matter who you are right now, everybody's at peace. Come back to that word to serve out your judgment. Because what you do, you die. You go to court. That's why the brother brought out, go back to the one in 2 Corinthians. Because you die, you get judged, and you come back. You know how people be coming back lame and limp and stuff like that? People come in stillborn and stuff. That's why he said you get a judgment. Right there, I'm going to prove that. It's John 9. Take that 14, 35.
It's the book of 2 Ezra, chapter 14, verse 35. For after that
But after that,
shall the judgment come,
then you get a judgment,
when we shall live again.
you live again. Cool. Then John
2 Ezra, chapter 14. Nearby. Yeah. You got a phone? Yeah. Just download KJV 16. Get my
John 9. Let me see what I was talking.
We want real today. Exactly. Love you on it. Okay, Jim.
It's the book of John, chapter 9, verse 1. And as Jesus passed by, he saw a man which was blind from his birth.
So he was born blind. Right?
And the disciples asked him, saying, Master, who did sin?
Check this out. His disciples came to him and said, who did sin?
This man or his parents?
How did this man sin if he was born blind? Right?
That he was born blind. Jesus answered, neither had this man sinned, nor his parents, but that the works of God should be made manifest in him.
Well, that was the question they was asking me. How did this dude come back and we understood at that time that when you came back, you got a judgment, and that's why they thought he was blind. They said, who did sin? This man or his parents? And he was born blind. So there was like somebody had to sin, but it would come back like that. Do the one in Matthew
19. 1928.
19. I know they got one in Matthew 17.
Book of Matthew, chapter 19, verse 28. And Jesus said unto them, Verily I say unto you, that ye which have followed me in the regeneration, when the Son of Man shall sit in the throne
Regeneration means to come back.
of his glory, ye also shall sit upon 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel.
So we're going to keep coming back till we get it right.
Christ.
Till Christ comes back.
Yeah, then everybody's gonna be. I'm gonna prove. I'm gonna show y'all.
It's the book of Matthew, chapter 17. It's the book of Matthew, chapter 17, verse 10. And his disciples asked him, saying, Why then say the scribes that Elias must first come?
Now this prophecy that he was talking about, he said, hold that, go to Malachi. This is what they saying. He said, why the disciples went to Christ and said, why didn't tell the prophets that Elijah must first come? Watch what he said. Let me prove that prophecy.
It's the book of Malachi, chapter 4, verse 1. For behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven,
He's talking about when destruction comes.
and all the proud, yea, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble.
Everybody gonna be put to death that don't keep God's law. We going in the station.
In the day
That's in
that
the Bible
cometh,
too. Let's show you.
in the day that cometh shall burn them up, saith the Lord of hosts, that it shall leave them neither root nor branch. But unto you that fear my name
Keep the commandments.
shall the Son of Righteousness arise with healing in his wings, and ye shall go forth and grow up as calves of the stall, and ye shall tread down the wicked, for they shall be ashes under the soles of your feet. In the day that I shall do this, said the Lord of hosts.
All those wicked people, matter of fact, on the Sabbath and the new moon, we're going to look at our people that didn't keep God's commandments burned.
Remember ye the law of Moses, my servant, which I commanded unto him in Horeb for all Israel, with the statutes and judgments. Behold, I will send you Elijah the prophet.
He's going to say, I'm going to send you Elijah. Because Elijah's job was to come back and wake us up. We believe Elijah already came back, but I'm going to prove that. Go ahead.
Behold, I will send you Elijah the prophet before the coming of the great.
So before Christ comes, he's saying that Elijah was going to come before Christ comes, right? I'll go back to Matthew 17. Watch this.
It's the book of Matthew, chapter 17, verse 1. And after 6 days, Jesus take Peter and James.
No,
17, verse 10. And his disciples asked him, saying, Why then say the scribes that Elias must first come?
So that's what he's saying. What was prophesied in Malachi, right?
And Jesus answered and
Watch what he
said
say.
unto them, Elias truly shall first come
He said Elijah shall to his first come, right?
and restore all things. But I say unto you
Watch this.
that Elias is come already.
But check this out. He said, what?
But I say unto you that Elias is come already,
Elijah already came already, right?
and they knew him not, but have done unto him whatsoever they listed.
But watch who Elijah was.
Likewise shall also the Son of Man suffer of them. Then the disciples understood that he spake unto them of John the Baptist.
John the Baptist was Elijah. So it's showing you that those spirits come right back. Yeah. So that's